Okay, you know the feeling. You're standing in front of your closet, it's the first day of a new job, and you have absolutely no idea what to wear. Well, today, we're going to crack the code on your company's dress code policy. This is the document that tells you exactly what you need to wear to work.
It's a question we've all asked ourselves, right? And finding the answer isn't just about fashion. It's about having really strong reading skills to figure out what's allowed and, maybe more importantly, what's definitely not.
So, let's follow along with Maria. She's about to start her new job, and she really needs to figure out this dress code policy before she walks in the door on Monday morning.
To really understand the dress code, we're going to put together what I like to call a toolkit for success. It's basically 3 key reading skills that are going to help you understand any policy that comes your way.
Okay, so what's in this toolkit? First, we've got finding the details. Then, we're going to decode the words. And finally, we'll learn how to understand the context. Let's dive in.
First up is detail recognition. This is all about finding those really specific rules. You know, the nitty-gritty stuff like what colors you can wear or what kind of clothes are okay. Let's see how Maria can use this.
Take a look at this. In just a couple of sentences, there are so many specific details packed in here. The policy doesn't just say suits, it says dark-colored suits, and even gives you the exact colors, black, navy, or gray. Same with the shoes. These are the details you've got to spot.
So by pulling out these details, Maria basically has a shopping list. She knows exactly what to look for in her closet. It takes all the guesswork out of the equation.
And here's where it becomes crystal clear. That brown suit she was thinking about? Nope, not on the list. And tennis shoes are a definite no-go. See how recognizing those little details helps her know exactly what not to wear?
All right, next skill in our toolkit. Company policies can be full of formal, kind of stuffy words, so Maria needs to be able to decode that vocabulary to really get what they're saying.
Okay, here we go. We've got 2 words here that are super important. Attire and discouraged. I mean, what do those words really mean in this context? So, attire is really just a formal way of saying clothes. But when they say professional attire, they're signaling something more. They mean clothes that look serious, that fit the company's professional image. Now, discouraged, that's a tricky one. It's kind of like a soft no. It means it's not strictly forbidden, but you probably shouldn't do it. It's the company's way of saying, hey, we'd really rather you didn't.
All right, our final skill. Sometimes the rules aren't always the same every single day. We need to be able to read for context, because sometimes those rules have pretty big exceptions.
And here it is, the classic example. The policy sets up a clear rule for Monday through Thursday, but then, bam, there's an exception. Casual Friday. This little sentence changes everything, but only on one specific day.
This shows you the context perfectly. The rules for Thursday are totally different from the rules for Friday. If you mix them up, you could make a pretty big mistake.
It's kind of like a traffic rule, you know? The main rule is to stay in your lane, but there's an exception for when you need to pass someone. If Maria wears her casual Friday jeans on a Tuesday, she's breaking the main rule, and that's not going to look good.
And that's it. You've got your toolkit. You now know how to find the details, decode the vocabulary, and understand all the exceptions. You are ready to tackle any policy.
So now it's your turn to practice. Think about your own job or your school. Can you use your new detail-finding skills to write down 3 rules about what you have to wear? And can you find at least one exception to those rules? And I'll leave you with one last thing to think about. What about the unwritten rules? You know, the things that aren't actually in the policy, but everyone just seems to know. What are those where you work or study? That's where the real deep dive begins.